party.
PT, ain't never popped a Molly, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Holly. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young Emmett. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge Emmett. To the day they go before they box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply change my route. On my hobby.
It's Wes. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations, home of the West Coast, voice of the culture. It's Duse M the Don. I'm right back at it, just like a crack at it. If you're on Instagram, go on and go on over to YouTube at Active Chucks. If not, you only go get an hour of the content. I forgot my son took my chain off. I'm put my little chain back on. You know I always wear that. And my thing just plain John G. D. Bang that like button. We got the content. Oh, yeah, we got it. Matter of fact, hey, man, shout out to the game for putting the West Coast back on the map, rightfully so. The game has put together his best album. He has the best album out right now. Facts. Documentary 3 is the best album out right now. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's play this while we share and get some people up in here, man. Get active in the chat. The chat's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the game. We got the content though. While I'm getting the content ready.
What's ahead? I search to find the love within.
Chuck Taylor, the gang, salute, bro. Shout out to him. Shout out Big Face 100, man. Shout out B-Fly. It just feels good to see that family mending on the men, putting everything they got to the side and just loving each other unconditionally. There ain't nothing stronger than blood. When the love of that blood and that bloodline between family members, man, the gangs can't keep you separated. The money can't keep you separated, man. It's the most precious thing in life is your family, man. Salute Panda Man, Mike B. Salute Big Mass. What up? Pacoima east to the west side, rat ass in his rat pack, bust ass informant telling long as Keefy D and the other dude, motherfuckers out here being rats. Bro, I already read the whole Keefy D paperwork. Bro, he told on everybody. Everybody. You did? Look at Levi. What you doing? Huh? Who told you to get over here? Look at him. He got his own little personality now. He be trying me too. Hey, nigga. Nah, get back on your couch. Come here. You in the office. Go get on your couch. Get in your bed now, nigga. Over here. Fuck, I gotta tell you twice, folks. This way. Come here. Come this way. Yeah, go. Over there. Fuck, I tell you twice, folks. Get up here. Go. Had him hop up on the thing. Hey, look, y'all leaving, y'all mad. Well, that's why y'all gonna miss the content. We got the content. Let's go, man. Y'all think this is the game? What? You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought that this was the game. Bang that like button, bro. We gonna be getting into this documentary 3 with the game too, man. All week, or probably all month. This is a classic. Put some respect on his name. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on his name. We gonna go ahead and start this one. Open source intel. This is nasty work. We've been telling y'all about the open source stuff. Open source back is back. That's CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? Open source BNAC. Let's get this to the front of the content table. WACK100 and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine interview being used as evidence in Lil Durk's RICO case. Well, he don't have a RICO no more. What he has is a conspiracy to commit murder for hire, man. Let's get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? They use him CS2 back. And the
Meet the
coldest
5D
thing, well, I'll
holographic
get to that
projector that turns
next.
any ordinary
Let's
space into
share
a
this,
magical
man.
deep sea or a vast starry universe in just 1 second. Newly developed by WACK100, it uses the latest Las Vegas sphere
Shout out to
projection technology
Pacoima,
to
with a
deliver
real
jaw-dropping
Pacoima.
4K Ultra HD
Real
clarity,
Pacoima,
bringing you ultra
stand up.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Well,
Hit
here we
that
go
like button on
again.
your way in.
WACK100 and Tekashi 69 have just popped up right in the middle of Lil Durk's federal paperwork. We all know Durk is fighting that massive murder-for-hire case right now. And once again, the internet antics are coming back to haunt people in a real-life courtroom. But this time, it's not about anybody taking the stand and snitching. It's about the fact that the feds are watching everything they do online. Prosecutors are literally trying to use an old podcast clip of 6ix9ine screaming at Durk.
The feds is using everything that they can online to railroad and convict young black males and black males, period. They don't care big you old as dirt. You know what I'm saying? To everything they can. And these pussies online giving them everything they can. Let's go,
With
man.
WACK100 sitting right
Y'all
there
thought
next to
this was
him.
going to be nice. My
This
bad.
just shows you, even if these guys aren't actively telling on somebody, the authorities are taking notes. Their words, interviews, and live streams, they are all being used as ammunition. Here is exactly how an internet shouting match just became federal evidence. Let's get into it.
So academics posted this up. The feds want to, this is about the Durk trial. The feds want to introduce an interview on DJ Academics Off the Record podcast where 6ix9ine and WACK100, where they attacked Durk for not sliding for Vaughn. According to the government, they have a snitch who will testify that Durk saw this interview and it made him upset that it was being discussed that there was no sliding being done. Durk's lawyers have contested the video being included, claiming that it isn't relevant. Now, this video would just be two random people talking if it wasn't for the fact that they apparently have this snitch that will claim that Durk was offended by this snitch because apparently his homies weren't putting enough work in. And there's like another quote where I guess Durk said that basically like it pissed him off that Quando Rondo and his boys, after they killed King Von, were seemingly moving around like they didn't have anything to worry about. It pissed him off that Durk's team did not instill enough fear in them. So, okay, before we get into it, though, let's just watch this clip of WACK and 6ix9ine. I do recall this clip. And, you know, the crazy part about it is that, like, obviously 6ix9ine's mission was to get into Durk's head and make him crash out. And I think that, like, 6ix9ine thought that Durk would crash out on the internet, like get on his story and basically like say, "F you 6ix9ine." And instead, apparently it angered him enough that he felt like he needed to initiate some spinning.
They know the exact same. I'm not bringing this off topic. Let me just get this on my chest. They know the exact nigga that put 10 bullets in King Von and he died there by himself. Why nobody slid for that? I don't see you on Instagram saying, yo, go slide for that man.
Listen.
Y'all know what y'all saying? Yo, y'all want this nigga to crash out.
I'm gonna be real with
y'all
you.
want, no.
Hold on.
That's,
Hold on.
you know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold
If
on.
I didn't go hit
Hold
the
on.
nigga that kidnapped me,
Hold on.
why this nigga not shooting
Let
the
me
nigga that
be real
killed King
with you.
Von, nigga?
Let me be real with
You
you.
see why?
I don't see you on Instagram and say, yo, Durk, go slide for your
I
man.
discovered King Von.
No,
when
I don't want
King
to talk about
Von
King
died.
Von.
So
Why
I
is
don't
Durk
know.
not sliding
I don't know
on
politics.
Yeah, but that's what's funny is that, okay, shout out to WACK, but they're talking about something where clearly 6ix9ine has like encyclopedic knowledge of King Von and Durk and everything. And WACK interrupts him to let him know that he didn't know about King Von until he died. This is a bad podcasting example in which you shut down somebody being an expert on the topic to let them know that you are ignorant to this topic. It drives me crazy.
And you believe he ignorant to the topic?
I believe that he didn't know who King Von was till he died just because he probably wasn't really tapped in.
Then how is he a part of hip hop culture in any capacity? But he knows who 6ix9ine is, but not King Von, who is like a significantly more respected MC.
6ix9ine was way bigger.
Yeah, 6ix9ine might have been the bigger mainstream artist at the time. But Adam, You just said out of your own mouth that 6ix9ine practically had an encyclopedia on King Von. So even with 6ix9ine being this massive rapper, he clearly knew everything about Von. And if you think for 1 second that WACK didn't know who he was, you have got to be dumb. We are talking about a guy who makes it his business to know exactly what everybody is doing, from every race, every genre, every street tie. Man, there was just an Armenian dude on the internet the other day talking about something WACK did.
Open story.
WACK100 came into my comments and said I'm lying about an audio that he has on Clubhouse in which it led to some arrests in my community. I'm going to play the clip in a minute, but this...
There are trucks,
Damu Kiwe,
and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra.
Bang your like button, we get into it.
This is what he said. This guy is a liar. There's a Rolls Royce that was not returned to the Armenian people, and that raised an issue. Nobody said what company or city, so whoever got raided is their business. They can't keep up with me, so they make up lies, fake lies. Where's the work? Where's the work? The work is online. Where's the work? It's the new modern way of snitching, online.
Let's stop right there.
I'm going to play the clip.
Shout out to No Cap Network, you dig? With the content. Shout out Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Hey, bro, nigga, I love my motherfucking team. My niggas been on that BI lately, you dig? Salute to the ETET, the ETE fam, the ETD fam. Listen, bro, this is the new way of snitching. Hey, Paul Rue, that nigga Mike B shot me in the 6th grade, blood. What? He had a gun. He always got 2 guns on him. Why is you giving all of that information up in the first place? Say Mike B doesn't even gangbang no more. He done got over the gangbang since he shot me, right? But say he hustling. Say he moving the boy OT and he doing 20 a week. He getting his bag. But because I done dry snitched or wet snitched through open source intelligence online, I done brought attention and put a light on to him. So now the feds get to investigating them about a shooting of me in the 6th grade, saying he always got guns. They tap his phone. And then they hear that he moving the 20 bricks a boy every week. And he get caught up on that. Or you get caught up with the blammer. That's not my fault. That's not snitching. Of course it's my motherfucking fault, nigga. I shouldn't been on here talking about criminal behavior in the first place. I shouldn't tie nobody other than myself, if I'm dumb enough to do it, to any criminal behavior, let alone to be online talking about open murder cases, open investigations, open RICO cases, and in some cases, RICO cases that haven't even dropped yet, and then they drop after. This is nasty work, bro. This is what we dealing with. Shout out to the one
that you're saying that I'm lying about, so I can refresh your memory, and then we're gonna get back to it.
Wait.
Department.
Smoke had that street. That's him thinking he playing, not understanding his junk. He thinking because niggas ain't niggas, you can play with them. Right. That's like he didn't understand his jungle. He playing with them boys over there in Glendale, not understanding. You don't play with them boys over there. you can't take something from them Armenians and Persians, and don't think you ain't gonna get touched.
Shout out my boy Bull Light. Bush in the building.
Oh, you talking about when that let it go.
Look, bro, we gotta let it go. So listen.
They trying to keep it low because they don't want all of this out online. And the nigga Wack like, oh, we ain't gotta keep it low. We can set it on the table. Open murder cases. We finna talk about it. And he know the police listening. This is nasty work, bro.
When they called me,
like he opened his mouth. Called me.
When they called me, right? I'm on tour in Europe. They say, yo, Wack, we putting them at a Airbnb, a crib in Hollywood Hills. I say, yo, that's the ghetto. Put that nigga at the W on the 18th floor. Don't put him in that spot. They do it anyway, right? 10 hours later, my man called me. He said, Wack, the nigga done ordered like 15. That means 50 niggas know where he at, right? I called in. I say, yo, y'all better move the youngsters up out of there because he got some issues with some people, right? He don't know. He young. He a New York nigga, ain't even moved around. He thinking the people he playing with ain't them type of people.
And he's Blueface on his mind.
Look, Blueface calls me, right? This is why Corey King go crazy on me, right? He calls me, Pop Smoke want me to come by the studio, negative.
This is why most accident victims never see a single dollar, even when they deserve to.
Kiwe.
They never talk to an attorney.
Conversations. I hope y'all banging that like button, man, because y'all getting the content and y'all act like y'all don't respect
Accident wasn't your fault.
Put some respect on our name, Damu Kiwe.
You don't want me, don't do what do right now. Stay the away from me. Him and the baby was shooting a video, right? Go your ass home. He like, you show? Hey, nephew, go home. He wake up in the morning, he's like, what's happening? I watched this. The 911 call come from New York about Beverly Hills. About Beverly Hills. Watch this. 4 men come in, don't nobody get blazed but one nigga. There's no forced entry, there's no kick though. Right?
Right.
So, end of the day, it's like a West Coast nigga going to New York and violating them niggas that run around with them long sideburns.
Right.
That's you don't, bro, they gonna play with you a little different. Right?
And the little nigga that kid, I heard the little nigga that shot him was a super young nigga. Like he was a young
No, bro. Bro. That was his business. That wasn't personal. He stole a Rolls Royce from the APs, bro. You don't put them niggas over there, bro.
He didn't put the APs
Armenian power, nigga. That's like Mexican mafia, nigga.
Yeah, they a mafia.
They the mafia. They done stole the Rolls Royce from the APs. So the police, they got the reels rolling, Title 3 wiretaps. They kicking back with their coffee, they donuts. Every time they hear open source back, it's live on Clubhouse. And he, no, fuck that, fuck you. Hold it up, nigga. We put it on the table. Nigga, the APs got a car stole. The APs, Armenian power, they're like the Mexican mafia. They are a part of the Sulturese. They come up under the rule of the Mexican mafia. And so help get them a RICO. On top of that, they paid some other young niggas who don't know what's going on to go do what they did. It's just business to them. This nigga gave them the motive. He gave this nigga code. Shit. Hey, I know if that nigga Robert Jones, his brother, when he was in that car with that nigga in Texas in jail, that nigga probably had to run. Nigga, I'll be shitting on myself with open source back as my co-defendant. Nigga.
They got their own mob, yeah.
They're not playing just because they wear slacks and loafers and drive Audis and over here in Glen.
Got money.
Nigga, them niggas, they gonna reach down to the niggas and it's gonna circulate by the time it got to where it got to, it's 4 little kids, bro, on the move. They didn't know why they was on the move. All they do is
crash dummies.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, they
Exactly, Mike B.
So but again, that's these young niggas thinking we don't need no old niggas around us. You niggas talking about
Right.
That's what that is, bro. He would have had some sense around him. And yo, bro, run them people back their car.
Yeah, get them niggas back
bro, back their car. The nigga you rented from.
That's some hot.
The nigga you rented it from.
Later, man.
Yeah, bro, like, I look up.
What it is that you got them niggas coming through. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, the more many niggas seeing the rapper niggas, you know what I'm saying? They being nice. These little young hood dumb niggas is like, they think they getting off. Meanwhile, the main niggas just doing right.
Yeah, he trying to.
These niggas, hey, bro, who is these niggas? Who raised these niggas, man? You niggas done gave the game 2 black eye. Who is these weirdos coming up on the open source back? These niggas might just be regular off-duty undercover cops. Nigga, this shit is 21 Jump Street. Nigga, they running the psyop.
You know what I'm saying? But nigga, when
all they did was rented the nigga to
saying that's some dumb young dummy.
You can't take a nigga car and ship his car and tell him, hey, what are you talking about right now? Like, them niggas ain't calling the police. That's the fact.
Right.
I've been dealing with them niggas for many moons. So,
First of everything, I don't need to lie. I don't make money here on YouTube. I don't want the clout. I make more money than you, Adam, combined together. Let's get that out the way. Second, the person who owned the Rolls Royce was Russian, Ara. He was not Armenian, and he made a police report himself, stating that his vehicle was stolen. He was a snitch, the guy you're talking about.
WAC's network is everywhere. Again, you would be an absolute fool to think he didn't know who King Von was.
He's bigger, but like
the whole case stuff and the rat and.
But it's like to be a part of hip hop and not know who King Von is even more insane.
If Adam say he believed that, he didn't know who King Von was.
I mean, there's probably so many other rappers that are like roughly on King Von's
but like they was
level
like
that I
Batman
know
and
he
Robin
would.
had the case going on. You know about all the other cases. Remember they bust on.
Well, that is a good point. Yeah, although I would say like Wax probably like deeper into his like clubhouse, looking up everybody's paperwork now. So maybe like he would probably know now. Let's just finish.
Listen, why is this nigga not sliding on the nigga? How you know what they doing? Just because it ain't publicized on social media, how you know? How you know? If we didn't have this conversation, how you know I pull me out?
All right, so I'm here outside the courthouse. I just saw Lil Durk's last hearing, and there was a lot of really big information that just came out. Now, I'm going to do a bunch of breakdowns of all the information, but I'm going to hit you with the craziest piece of information that came up first. I could not believe it. They brought up WACK100 and 6ix9ine in Durk's hearing. Now, this is insane. So they were basically arguing over a certain exhibit and like whether or not it should be allowed to be used. And they pretty much said that there was a podcast clip of the 6ix9ine and WACK100 interview.
If you're so profitable, why do you
there
sell
was a
court?
clip of the 6ix9ine.
You know what? Here you go.
WACK100. So that's why he was so urgent to talk to 6ix9ine. They played good cop, bad cop, nigga. And said some open source intel knowing that Lil Durk was under investigation.
Defense for Durk was fighting for it not to be included, and this is what's crazy. Now, look, before I get attacked, before I get in any trouble, okay, I'm not saying WACK100's a snitch, or that he's cooperating, or that he's part of this case. Same goes for 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine's not cooperating against Durk. He's not part of the case. But the interview between WACK100 and 6ix9ine was brought up. The feds are planning to use it as evidence.
Feels like every time we turn around, the feds are pulling something from WAC's orbit to build a case. And they aren't even keeping it a secret anymore. They are going out of their way to put his name in all kinds of paperwork for the public to see. It almost seems like they're not trying to hide it anymore. Aside from that, the feds are officially claiming that they have a cooperating witness ready to take the stand under oath. Apparently, they are going to testify that Lil Durk actually watched that exact podcast video, got mad at the disrespect, and felt the pressure to retaliate. Just process that for a
Bang
second.
that like button, man.
The government is literally arguing that an internet
Cash
shouting match
App is
provoked a
open. We need
real-life
it right now. We gotta
federal
keep
murder
these
for
lights
hire
on, man.
plot.
Evidence of what, you might ask? They're
We've
saying
been
that
so
is
busy.
evidence that this podcast where 6ix9ine was... All right, so...
All right. So they cut him off short there a little bit. But, I mean, to be fair, Munchie said shut up in the middle of it. But it is true that, like, WACK didn't, like, do anything to be included in this aside from just talking about him on a podcast.
Well, Adam might be right about that. This isn't the CS2 back situation. But what it is, it's the feds watching these guys and taking the stuff that they're saying and using it as evidence of something. If nothing else, that right there gives them the incentive to continue watching these guys. Period.
It's even more simple.
Whatever
than
they're
that.
doing, whatever they're saying on their podcast, the feds are watching it closely because it turns into evidence for them. That's what this is showing.
Why is 3 people headed to trial here in all their documents?
That is a great
Why
question.
is it 3 people
Because he
headed to
talks about
trial?
stuff on the internet.
So Sydney, shut the fuck up.
That's the actual answer. Because, like, obviously him talking on Clubhouse with the future thing, that was just him talking on the internet. This was him talking about some shit that had nothing to do with him on the internet. And also, after watching that clip, Vlad was actually kind of like doing Durk's dirty work. Like, he was kind of like acting as if nothing was wrong while 6ix9ine basically like pleaded for Durk. And
Hey, listen to these dynamics. You got a nigga who faked like he was a skater, saves for New Hampshire, never talks about his life in New York City. He left New Hampshire and went to New York. What was you doing in New York? Right? I just got that Buck Wild good looking out. Salute, King. King Buck Wild with the Cash App. What was you doing in New York? And your dad name is Graham Mason. Right? What's your mom biological name? See, we need to do an in-depth research and journalistic research on this mountaineer. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie. It's all over the internet. Everybody is saying he's coming off like a CIA operative. Mike B just got that. Salute. Good looking out, King. Keep it going. Keep it going. So this whole 21 Jump Street seems like a psyop. But the irony of having this nigga being the one to define whether WAC's done enough snitching, nigga. Munchie B, you talking to this nigga, this weird ass nigga, Lush One. Nigga, this nigga ain't no gangbanger. If he went to the prison right now, he'll be a Jewish person, but he'll be riding as a Southside resident. A resident. Why is y'all discussing street politics with these goofies, nigga? Why have you put them in a position of authority to dictate and define what the fuck a snitch is, nigga? And how much is too much? A real nigga ain't gonna never win as long as you got a nigga like these weirdos dictating what the motherfucking rules and regulations is. You niggas is got the game distorted, discombobulated, contorted, and you need to be re-educated. One more time. You niggas got the game distorted, discombobulated, contorted, and need to be re-educated. Because this is nasty work, bro. So when is it enough? Nigga, you don't ask him that. Nigga, that's enough, nigga. Oh, no, it's all the nigga, you ain't from the street, nigga. This is where you out of your motherfucking lane, nigga. Stay in your motherfucking lane. King Buck Wild, salute. I just got that cash out, bro. Keep it going. These niggas got me high. This shit
to go slap
It's
her
golf,
off.
man. Good cop, bad cop.
Okay, so
Sure. But as far as what WACK said, if anything, he was kind of defending Durk.
I think that WACK is such a part of his nature to be a loudmouth, and that he rats without even thinking about it. It's like instinctual. Let me ask you a question. So if I got shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got shot, and then me and you were arguing one day, and you say, Lush, I know who the shot you. I just talked to the dude the other day. I just talked to the dude that shot you the other day. Is that not dry snitching?
I don't really think it's dress snitching if you don't put a name on it. I actually did that exact thing when I was beefing with King Yella at one point, and I was lying. I didn't actually know who shot him. I just said it. I've done that to a few people actually, where I like acted like I knew more than I actually knew about.
I'm not in agreement
somebody hurting them. So it's a fun technique.
So it's moist snitching. Like what are we calling that? Do you guys consider that?
It's not snitching. You got to come up with a new terminology.
No, it's not snitching to say I know who committed this crime. It's snitching to say the name of the person.
But then what if the police come and start asking questions as a result of you saying that on a podcast?
Hey, hold on, Adam.
Which happens all the time.
As long as you don't answer the police.
To this nigga.
Right, and I don't think that's snitching, except that you made it specific enough that reasonably you could then conclude that the cops
assume it's specific enough.
Well, if you're saying that you're doing it on like a very consistent basis, it's easy for people to imagine like, oh,
but he said
all we have to do is pay attention. All we have to do is pay attention to the people that Munchie drinks with every weekend, and eventually we'll figure it out.
Nigga 2 months ago.
Right. No, and I mean, that was obviously he's probably trolling or he's probably just talking. But I'm just saying that, like, I don't think it's snitching for you to say that, but I also don't think it's snitching for WACK to talk about 6ix9ine on a podcast, especially after watching that where he didn't.
Why is he
say
popping
anything.
up in everybody paperwork?
And that is the entire point right there.
Why
it would be one thing if this was just a one-off situation. If the feds just used this one podcast clip because they claim Durk watched it and it made him mad. Okay, fine. But you shouldn't be popping up in everybody's paperwork. You shouldn't be making cameos in different federal indictments listed under all these different titles. You have one video being used as evidence over here. You have another case over there where you're being labeled as a co-conspirator, a witness, and a victim. All in the exact same paperwork. And then, on top of all of that, you have the CS2 back paperwork allegations floating around out there right now. I mean, come on, man. At a certain point, it is way too much to just be a coincidence.
Work. Shouldn't
we already answered that.
Shouldn't something tell a person like, let me kick back?
I don't think, not based on what we have now.
Or okay. Oh, y'all, they
hit that like button on your way in.
Overact is gonna strengthen the case, bro. Whether it's a charge or not.
Yeah, that's crazy. Adam
right now get 0%
basically telling him you didn't snitch, you
auto 1500
tried snitch, but WACK didn't. I can't believe this shit, man. Hey, that's the end of it, man. Scandalous Los Angeles and 40 nights. Hold on, let me show y'all this. We off this game, man, while I get the content ready. We got the content. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't the one. My bad. Okay, we're gonna go here.
What do we think of the game, by the way, as an artist?
This nigga did his shit. Shout out to Gang Documentary 3 in Street and online now. 1 million streams in the first 24 hours. Let's run it up. Gang time. So, we told y'all about CS2 back, man. You know what I'm saying? We told y'all niggas. And you niggas kept dealing with this nigga. You niggas keep this nigga going in the algorithm. Checking this nigga out. Oh, man, this nigga talking about you, Duse. Duse, this nigga talking. Man, fuck that nigga. Of course he gonna talk about a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I told y'all this nigga was CS2 back. Y'all didn't listen. Well, he's no longer CS2 back. Confidential source 2 back has evolved. The WACK boy has evolved. He's now open source back. So let me tell y'all a little bit about how open source is much more beneficial to a federal prosecutor or a state prosecutor than a confidential source is, right? There's a real structural advantage for prosecutors at the probable cause stage to get probable cause to search your house, search your car, right? Search your bitch house, search your 18-wheeler, right? Tap your phone. Prosecutors and agents have much more room than they do at trial from an open source intelligence than they would a confidential source. A warrant affidavit can rely on hearsay, informant information, public statements, social media content, videos, interviews, photographs, location data, and other investigative materials. The Supreme Court rule in Illinois versus Gates is a flexible totality of the circumstances test. The judge asks whether all the circumstances create a fair probability that evidence of a crime will be found. Even an informant with questionable credibility can contribute to probable cause if significant parts of the information are independently corroborated. So as long as somebody, let's say, Detective Greg Kagan, since we talked about someone with questionable credibility, he's already been caught lying, bribing people to take deals, paying snitches and all of this type of shit, right? So he has questionable credibility. But if he's publicly spewing out allegations and or motor operandes of crimes, it could be used because they wouldn't have to put them on the stand. See, with a confidential source, criminal defendant would have the right to question and face their accuser, face the accusations against them. Any accusations made must serve the crux of cross-examination. That's a part of your Sixth Amendment right. Open source intelligence negates that and gives prosecutors a strategic advantage. They don't have to subpoena the source of the open source intelligence. And that is where open source intelligence becomes extremely powerful. Suppose investigators have a source they would never want a jury to meet. The source has credibility problems, criminal exposure, they're doing crimes, inconsistent statements, personal grudges, cooperation incentives, or some other impeachment baggage. If that person publicly discusses the same subject on a podcast, YouTube interview, live stream, or a social media platform, investigators can examine those statements alongside independent evidence. The government could then use the public material as investigative intelligence to identify the names, relationships, dates, locations, vehicles, phone numbers, potential witnesses, prior incidents, and possible connections. Agents can use those leads to obtain other evidence, to obtain subpoenas, to obtain phone records, to obtain surveillance, search warrants, financial records, geolocation evidence, or interviews. And that creates what I would call an investigative conversion process. The speaker equals public statement equals investigative leads equals corroboration from someone else equals probable cause equals compulsory process, which leads to independent evidence. Let me blow this up because I know some of y'all visual people and can't necessarily digest this. Bang that like button. Open source back strikes again, nigga. No more CS2 back. We been exposed that. He's evolved, family. That's how it looks. Y'all see the bold writing? Blow that up. That's how it looks. Speaker, public statement, investigative lead, corroboration, probable cause, compulsory process, independent evidence. By the time the prosecution gets to trial, the original speaker might not be central to the case anymore. That is the important point. And this is why that's such a prosecutorial advantage. The government does not necessarily need the person who generated the original lead, the open source. They don't need them to prove anything that resulted from that lead. Imagine somebody publicly says, A was meeting B at this location every Thursday. Investigators don't necessarily need to introduce that statement at trial for its truth. They investigated, they obtained surveillance, they subpoena location data, they obtain hotel records, they identify vehicles, they collect photographs, they obtain communications. Eventually, they may be able to prove A was meeting B every Thursday through independent, admissible evidence. At that point, the person who initially pointed investigators towards the relationship may become practically irrelevant to the government's trial proof. And now the defense loses one of its most powerful weapons, cross-examining the original source about why anybody should believe them. That doesn't mean prosecutors have illegally avoided confrontation. It means the prosecution may have developed evidence that doesn't depend on the source's credibility no more. And that distinction matters enormously. So, probable cause is not reasonable doubt. But this is it. Open source intelligence can turn human intelligence into documentary evidence. We'll get back to that. Let's get back to the content, though. Hit that like button, bro. We over here cooking. You know what I'm saying? Put your cap and gown on, nigga. Y'all gonna graduate today. We giving y'all some boss game. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. The Cash App is open, though. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi connected, because it acted like it didn't want to. Okay, my Wi-Fi is connected. It acted like it didn't want to do it. Let me see what we got. Oh, shout out my guy, Misguided. So there was a dude that got flipped. You know what I'm saying? In Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2005. You know what I'm saying? It was a nigga got flipped. You know what I'm saying? That nigga got smacked in Oklahoma, Tulsa, right? The nigga named Zach. They turned him into a pack. You know what I'm saying? Zach Jones. Yeah. Zach Jones, who? Zach Jones, who? Smack Jones. Nigga, they smacked him, right? Leroy Smith. So CS2 back gets the information, right? So when CS2 back gets the information, he wanted him and his brother Bob Jones feeling necessity to gang slide out to Oklahoma to try to press it, to try to get at the boy who they believe did it. You know what I'm saying? Misguided Media. He did this content today. He did some other thing some other content the other day that was fire. Exposes CS2. So this one is called In the Interest of Justice. So I showed y'all the picture of Zach that got whacked and turned into a pack. You know what I'm saying? And now the alleged killer of Zach is flipping Zach burgers for the low in Oklahoma, Tulsa. Let's get to this.
Right?
Yes, 2011, yes.
Y'all see the imprint? You see the wear on this? The wear? Been in my back pocket for a while.
That shit look like the craters in his face.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Wow.
So we fuck with police. A lie ain't gonna never outrun the truth.
Bang that like button.
So the truth can never be considered disrespect.
April 15th, 2005, Tulsa, Oklahoma. A man is shot and killed. His street name, Big Wack. He's the older brother of Cash McElroy Jones, better known as WACK100, both associated with the Tacoma Piru Bloods. He's murdered, and less than 24 hours later, intersection 40 in Wheeler County, Texas, a brown Cadillac is pulled over for going 77 in a 70. Inside the car, a convicted felon and a trunk full of guns. April 15, 2005, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cash Jones' older brother, known on the streets as Big Wack, is shot and killed. He was associated with the Tacoma Piru Bloods out of California. Public details about the homicide remain limited. No widely published suspect name, no detailed official investigation report has surfaced in open sources. Just the confirmed fact, Big Wack was murdered in Tulsa on April 15, 2005. But the very next day, his younger brother, Cash McElroy Jones, would be pulled over on a Texas interstate while claiming he was on his way to the funeral. Years later, Jones confirmed the dates himself on camera. My brother was killed on April 15th, and I was arrested April 16th.
The drug dog's out. Drug dog ran around the car 15 times, don't hit. They tap it on the car. The drug dog just looking at it with his tongue out his mouth. But they said, fuck it. They go inside the car. They don't find nothing in the car. They hit the truck. Shit. Bin Laden, Saudi Arabia, and some other motherfucking places in that motherfucker. Right? Right. I'm on the side of the road between the police car and my vehicle saying, I do not give you consent to search my vehicle. I was like a repeat. That's all I kept saying. You know what I'm saying? But what they fucked up is when he pulled me over for the traffic for speed. He took my license, registration, insurance. I'm in a rental.
April 16th, 2005, eastbound Interstate 40, Wheeler County, Texas, a quiet panhandle county with a population of under 1,500. Texas Department of Public Safety trooper Darren Chase is on routine patrol. His radar locks onto a brown 2005 Cadillac traveling 77 miles per hour in a 70 zone. The driver is Cash McElroy Jones, and his brother is his passenger. Both men are already convicted felons. Jones tells the trooper he is a truck driver who always runs a few miles over the limit, and that he is headed to a funeral in Tulsa, the funeral of his brother, Big Wack, who had been murdered the day before. The trooper asks for consent to search the vehicle, and consent is denied. A K-9 unit is requested, and Deputy Julian Torres arrives with the dog approximately 22 minutes later.
Once they take that post, see, that's a form of you being in custody. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Once they go back, run you, and bring you back your ticket. In this case, they gave me a warning citation, right? Because the nigga was just profiling two niggas in a Cadillac, California plates. He profiling. Once they get you back, he give me a warning ticket for speeding. Gave me all my shit back. Once they give you back your shit, they just released you from custody. Meaning, after that, in order to take me back into custody, either Paul got to come through and they CB saying, okay, this, whatever that, that individual, they see something, or hear something, motherfucker kicking in the trunk, you know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. So the nigga doubles back to the window, knocks on the window, and asks me, will you give me consent to search your vehicle? I said, absolutely not. Nigga threw down on me like Barney Fife, shaking like Don.
Get him,
Belina. Like I'm looking at this nigga with this long ass 357 shaking. My brother on the side of me sleep. He knocked out. So when they pulled us out and cuffed us, the first thing was to wait for them. And then you know what? It's something too. They only got so long to have you on the side of the road before that drug dog get there.
might be 30 minutes, some shit or something like that. They had violated that because I was like 30 minutes. Yeah, it was like 37 minutes.
The dog alerts on the vehicle. A probable
Cash
cause search
app's open.
is
Let's keep it
conducted,
going.
and what they recover is a black rifle,
they here
a
too.
black shotgun, a loaded black pistol, several magazines, and large quantities of ammunition for each weapon. Under Texas Penal Code Section 4604, it is a felony for a convicted felon to possess any firearm. Both men are charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Jones is briefly placed on a federal hold, but he posts a $10,000 bond and returns to Los Angeles. It's January 26, 2006. Cash McElroy Jones is formally indicted in Wheeler County for the offense. August 15, 2006, his attorneys file a motion to suppress. They ask the court to throw out every piece of tangible evidence seized and any testimony from the troopers, arguing the detention and search were unlawful. The state of Texas files a brief in opposition, and the motion is not granted. The case does not go to trial, it simply sits for years. Jones later stated he remained out of bond for 5.5 to 6 years, checking in weekly with the bondsman the entire time.
So when we get to court, right, I'm going to tell you how dirty these motherfuckers is, bro, because they would have really, I'd have still been fighting for a couple more years. So when we get to court, we file motion to suppress due to illegal search and seizure, right? How you get to the trunk. Them niggas would not grant us the motion. They wouldn't deny it.
He said they wouldn't deny the motion to suppress.
So I caught that.
He said that they wouldn't deny the motion to suppress, but they wouldn't grant it. This is a nigga lying in 4K, nigga. Nigga, do you understand that motion was? Let's pull this up, bro. Cause he didn't know. Well, this the Damu Kiwe Conversations. You understand? We ain't just about to let CS2 back. Oh, my bad. I mean, open source back. Get up on this motherfucker and get away with all that lying and shit that them busters over there on the 100 EBT side is too scared to call out because they looking for a handout. Now you man down. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with Duse M. All right, order to suppress. What was this? We finna find it right now. In opposition to motion to suppress. Order on defendant's motion to suppress. Let's go here real quick. We're going to go ahead and get right back to the content. But I just want y'all to know he's lying in 4K. Open source back is lying in 4K, my nigga. I got the word. Where the work? Where the work? State of Texas, number 4278. Wheeler County, Texas. State of Texas versus Cash McElroy Jones. Order on defendant's motion to suppress on the 19th day of May, 2010. Defendant's motion to suppress came on for hearing. Upon consideration of the testimony and exhibits before the court, it is the opinion of the court that defendant's motion to suppress evidence should be denied, nigga. Denied, nigga. It is therefore ordered that defendant's motion to suppress evidence is denied. Signed the 28th day of June. So they made the ruling on the 19th day, and the judge signed it on the 28th day. This nigga sitting here lying in 4K, bro. Nigga HD lying, nigga. And this is the shit that with the paperwork public online. Them dick puller, professional dick pullers on the 100 EBT side, professional dick puller, Adam 22, Adam 16er, the other PDF file, WACK100, ain't none of them call him, and even his gay, what's the gay man, Jason Lee, that he gifted a poodle to. Even here, you know what I'm saying? None of them call him out on his bold-faced lies. Why would you be lying about your case? Unless the truth is something that you want to hide. Let's get to it.
Case, October 15th, 2005, Shamrock, Texas. Those of y'all that like to investigate, go pull that shit up. Cash McElroy Jones, y'all know my name. Go pull it up. WACK don't got nothing to hide. Right. So, 2000, maybe.
Y'all do understand that WACK puts the shit that he tries to get ahead of the shit he don't want to come out. So he jumps out there to try to minimize the effect and the blow of it. Like, why would I, if it was bad, or if I cared about it, I wouldn't have put it out there. That's all reverse psychology. And you goofy ass niggas fall for it. You niggas slow as molasses.
March 9th, 2011, nearly 6.5 years after the traffic stop on Interstate 40. The state of Texas dismisses the case against Cash McElroy Jones. The official reason entered into the record is not lack of evidence, and it is not an illegal search and seizure. It is not a technical dismissal forced by the court.
Yeah, right?
Yes, 2011, yes.
The language used is very specific. Dismissed in the interest of justice. That phrase is a discretionary tool. Prosecutors and judges use it when they decide, for reasons that are not always publicly detailed, that continuing the case is not in the best interest of justice. No public document released in open sources explains the exact reasoning behind this dismissal. In the years that followed, independent content creators and street news channels began digging into this case. Channels covering the paperwork started circulating documents from the Wheeler County file, the indictment, the motion to suppress, state's response, and the final dismissal order. One of the more direct approaches came from content creator Duse M, who went live and called the Wheeler County District Clerk's office on camera.
Greetings. I'm doing research for a documentary. I'm with Val TV Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I was looking for public records on the case, and I'm having a hard time getting the records on this case. Is there any way you could assist me?
Well, what kind of case is it? And I'll tell you.
It was a gun case, 2005, for Cash McElroy Jones.
Okay. Do you have a cause number or anything?
I'm trying to find out. The case said it was a motion to dismiss, and then for illegal search and seizure, I can't find the results from that, but I know it got denied because the case continued, right? And then it was dismissed in the interest of justice. I don't know what the heck that meant. But yeah. I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay. Yes, that's what it says. Now this is just on the indictment. It's just the indictment. This is not on the seizure case. Was there a seizure case?
No. It was an indictment for guns. Can I get that exactly what was found in that?
Yeah, let's see here. Unlawful possession of a firearm by a felony is the charge, but it was dismissed.
Okay, and when it was dismissed, does it say how many firearms it was?
Let me just see. Let's look at the.
Because the documentary I'm doing is about gun traffickers that seem
to not being held accountable by the court of law. So
let's see here. The indictment, let me see. And I don't know if they did. That's back in 2006. I was trying to see if there was, no, there's nothing in here to tell me, like, the PCI, whatever you call it, the pre-sentencing investigation, sometimes they're filed. And I thought there might be one in here, but there's not, and it would tell me everything. But let's see. There's really nothing else in here that's of any.
Even in 2005, 2006, that was standard procedure for them to file a pre-sentence investigative report?
They had them, but sometimes they didn't give them to us.
Right.
But there's nothing really. All it is a bunch of just regular documents that's filed and some subpoenas, and then they got the motion in order to dismiss.
Yeah, right.
Yes, 2011. Yes.
All right. And is there any way that I could get emailed those documents?
And on the call, the clerk confirmed the existence of the case involving WACK100. The record showed the 2005 traffic stop, the indictment, the motion to suppress, and the 2011 dismissal. When asked about a final disposition, the clerk stated the case had been dismissed in the interest of justice. The live call put the county's own records in front of thousands of viewers in real time. Other creators followed, walking through the same timeline. The April 15th murder of Big Wack in Tulsa and the April 16th traffic stop the very next day, and the list of weapons recovered, and a 6-year gap that ended with 3 words: interest of justice. Some focused on the Fourth Amendment arguments Jones's lawyers raised. Others focused on the timing and the unusual length of his bond. Most simply put the original documents, and in some cases the live confirmation from the county, in front of the audience and asked them the same questions the records themselves leave open. The primary documents still sit with the Wheeler County District Clerk. The secondary coverage, including the live call, made the paper trail visible to a much wider audience. A man named Big Wack is murdered in Tulsa on April 15, 2005. The next day, his younger brother is stopped on a Texas interstate with a rifle, a shotgun, a loaded pistol, and over 800 rounds of ammunition. He is a convicted felon. The case is charged. A motion to suppress is filed, and the case does sit for nearly 6 years. It's then mysteriously dismissed in the interest of justice. The guns were real, the prior felony conviction was real, and the timeline is 100% real. The official language on the dismissal is also real. Even the county clerk confirmed it on a live call. What is not public, though, is the full explanation. See, I'm supposed to end when the case closes, but this one closed with 3 words that raise more questions than they answer. How does a felon get pulled over with that much firepower and walk away squeaky clean? The case file ended with dismissed in the interest of justice. Only you can tell me what that means. Subscribe for more case breakdowns. Comment what you think the records leave unanswered. It's your boy Misguided Media. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You guys know that it helps a lot. I'm out.
Misguided. Salute. He got content. So from there, tomorrow we're going to take y'all into the whole video on Darren Dupree. I'm tired. Been working. Cash App is open though. I'm working hard over here, ready to fall asleep, but I got the content and I'm making sure I bring it to y'all. Hit that like button. Hit the so let's go here. So I want y'all to see I want y'all to hear something real quick, right? See, one thing about me, when I know I'm listening to the police, I pay close attention because they finna talk about the Lil Durk case, right? Hofology, what up? What up? Let's get over here real quick. So they got pork butt on here. Watch this.
I got another subject I want to talk about that you had me to research. I got a little information on, so I'll wait until I get. Yeah.
So WACK100 has ex-police officer Reggie Wright Jr. doing research on Brick Baby. Listen to this.
Yeah.
No, this is breaking news.
Oh.
What happened? Brick Baby told us, he told me on Clubhouse that he had a DA reject for the AK-47 case he called June 2023.
All right.
Reggie go research that because he forgot.
I can honestly tell y'all, there was no gun arrest. That he only got charged with 11,350 AH&S. Y'all know what that is? A possession of a controlled substance.
Wait, hold up.
I can honestly tell y'all on that date.
Wait. And that's on June 23rd.
And that's on everything I love. That's on my word, my name.
Reg, okay, Reggie. I need to ask.
I think it was June the 19th or June or something like that. June, whatever the date, June the 23rd, whatever the date is.
Poor Brick. Make some sense of this. If the police come to your house and the feds, not the police, the LAPD and the feds for devices and guns, and they
I think it was actually a task force on 600.
Wait, and they find that.
I think it was actually a task force 600. So he trying to say the police raid your house and find a chopstick. 600 say no, the feds raid your house with a chopstick. And then Reggie checks the Crip cop. I think it was a federal task force. You know what I'm saying?
AK-47, bro. And on your paperwork that you pulled, there's no mention of the AK-47 or the phone.
All I'm saying is, if he's saying that he got arrested and he went to Compton Courthouse, all I'm saying is the case that they put on him, that's on the record on his rap sheet, is 11,350 H&S. No 12021, no 12025, no I don't even know the feds codes or any of that for weapons. If a weapon was taken out of their house,
he said they took an AK-47.
Okay, let me be a conspirator, or let me speculate. Wonder if have anybody asked this? Because y'all know those dudes didn't want to get on the plane with no weapon, right? Have you ever thought about maybe he's the one, or when they went there, they got that gun?
We are. Come on, we already ahead of that, bro.
Let me tell you what I know now,
okay.
Reggie. See, Reggie, I had you do one thing. I intentionally asked you to do one thing.
Only thing at Compton Courthouse.
I told you to research Compton Courthouse.
Correct.
He said it was two agencies there, LAPD or sheriff, which he lied because LAPD and the feds. So that
drone and everything like that.
Courthouse is in the feds, and he still yet to have a court date. And who is investigating this Lil Durk thing? And the co-conspirator number 4.
So Wack says, so who is investigating this Lil Durk thing? And co-conspirator number 4, this is Wack trying to say that Brick Baby is co-conspirator number 4. He's pointing fingers trying to get Brick caught up on that case.
A dude from LA.
Well, I know that's a task force that was doing that because I know the LAPD cop that was on that case.
I know that was a task force that was doing that. This is before they even got Dirt, I think. Oh no, this is right after they got him. Because I know the LAPD officer who's working with him on that case. So what LAPD officer is working with the task force on that case?
Right now, because that was a big case, because
that was a big case,
and we know who all was working that got a big name that deals with all the rap stuff,
and we know who's working, and he's talking about him and WACK, and we know who's working and handles all of the rap stuff.
So you know who I know.
Then he tell WACK, so you know who I know. You know who I know.
So all I can just say is on that date, only thing.
So y'all act, let me see if anybody in the chat know who they talking about. Steffi Weffy, what up? Let me see in the chat who knows what LAPD officer they talking about. I want to hear this. I remember this, shaking my fucking head. Gumby World TV. I think Reggie about to be a suspect in Pop. Wesley can't take that scooter in the prison. Pork butt finna get indicted low key with that Pac shit. When Wacky Rat say his exposure team will get to work, it be Pork butt and his fed ass handlers. Yep. Boule, what up? Still tripping off when Duse called Orca live the other week. That was premium. That nigga still mad at me. That nigga ain't answering none of my calls. He texts me, he's talking about fuck you. Like someone said, how can you keep it? I'm trying to see who knows who is the LAPD officer working with the Joint Task Force on the and helping the Lil Durk case. Patiently wait for them to get they just do. Reggie, you better lawyer up. That's crazy. Y'all, nobody has guessed who they is. Oh, Lou from the Lou think it's OG Greg. And Greg is retired. OG Mad Keita girl. So nobody else got it. That's crazy. Y'all ain't even paying attention, bro. Jerry Griffin. Jerry Griffin don't miss a beat, man. That boy sharp as a porcupine quill, man. Darren motherfucking Dupree. WACK100's handler. Darren motherfucking Dupree, man. Duse M's. But Lamonte Sims is my name. You have to speak on the fact that WACK has a tick inside of his mouth or his tongue, and it's weird as hell. Go back and look at some of his lies, how he has to stop himself to pause. Happy to see him. But yeah, it's Darren Dupree. The union is here. Salute. Oh, he's great. I had him open source 1 back. Duse M, I heard that the way you get that tick in your mouth or your jaws from homosexual activity. Well, I believe that he swings on that side of the fence, so I wouldn't do that. But listen, bro, we finna listen to this one more time. See, this is the type of research that these YouTubers lack, the journalistic research to go corner the market and find out who WACK100 and Reggie Wright know. You know who I know that's working on the Durk case. An LAPD officer that's working on the Lil Durk case. He handles all the big hip-hop cases.
I think it was June the 19th of June or something like that. June, whatever the date, June the 23rd, whatever the date is.
Poor Brick. Make some sense of this. If the police come to your house and the feds,
not the police.
LAPD and the feds for devices and guns, and they
I think it was actually a task force on 600. But let me.
Wait, and they find the AK-47, bro, and on your paperwork that you pulled, there's no mention of the AK-47
or the phone.
All I'm saying is, if he's saying that he got arrested and he went to Compton Courthouse, all I'm saying is the case that they put on him, that's on the record on his rap sheet, is 11350 HNS. No 12021, no 12025, no I don't even know the FEDS codes or any of that for weapons. If a weapon was taken out of their house,
he said they took an AK-47.
Okay, let me be a conspirator, or let me speculate.
It might be.
Wonder if have anybody asked this? Because y'all know those dudes didn't want to get on the plane with no weapon, right? Have you ever thought about maybe he's the one, or when they went there, they got that gun?
Come on, we already ahead of that, bro.
Let me tell you what I know now,
okay.
Reggie. See, Reggie, I had you do one thing. I intentionally asked you to do one thing.
Only thing at Compton Courthouse.
I told you to research Compton Courthouse.
Correct.
He said it was two agencies there, LAPD or sheriff, which he lied because LAPD and the Feds. So
the
that
drone and
every
everything like that.
Courthouse is in the Feds, and he still yet to have a court date. And who is investigating this Lil Durk thing? And the co-conspirator number 4, a dude from LA.
So WACK say, and who is investigating this Lil Durk thing? And co-conspirator number 4.
Well, I know that's a task force that was doing that, because I know the LAPD cop that was on that case, right?
I know that was a task force that's doing that, because I know the LAPD officer that's on that case.
Now, because that was a big case,
Because that was a big case, who handles all the big cases in LA? Well, now he's retired, but I guess he still gives his expertise.
And we know who all was working that got a big name that deals with all the rap stuff. So you know who I know.
So you know who I know. You want to know who he know? Do you want to know who he know? Let me show y'all who he know. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all who he know. Because it's nasty work, bro. This is some nasty work, bro. For real, for real. Let's get to this lying piece of shit. Darren Dupree. Triple D. Darren D. Dupree. He just testified in the Tupac murder. One of Greg Caden's partners. Oh, this is nasty work. Let's fast forward it a little bit. Oh, here you go. This is WACK100's handler.
Good afternoon.
Well, he was. I don't know who his handler is now. This is the man. This is the pig that flipped CS2 back. So CS2 back tries to go ride for his brother who got chipped in Oklahoma in Tulsa, gets caught with these guns. He bails out. He's out on bail for that gun case in Texas for 6 years, right? All the while, he's under federal investigation for Deja 34 Records, for the Main Street Mafia Crips, and the Death Row Records. They're trying to flip him on Suge, which he gave up Poochie and pointed the finger at Suge. Well, when I say they, I meant Detective Greg Cadence and Darren Dupree. Let me introduce you, world, to the original handler of open source back.
And if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Darren, D-A-R-Y-N, Dupree, D-U-P-R-E-E.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, state you may proceed.
Thank you. Sir, how did you used to be employed?
I was a detective for the Los Angeles Police Department.
How long were you with the LAPD?
33 and a half years.
And when did you start?
In 1990.
And through the majority of your career, what kind of crimes did you focus on?
Homicides, gang homicides.
And direct your attention to approximately 2006. Were you asked to be part of a task force related to the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yes, I was.
And can you describe that task force for us?
Robbery homicide, homicide specials, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, FBI, ATF, and DEA were all a part of the task force.
Task force.
And was there a precipitating event that caused the 2006 task force to be formed?
Yeah, Christopher Wallace's mother filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Police Department.
And what was the allegation in the lawsuit?
That there was police officer involvement in his death.
LA police officer involvement?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of the 2006 task force?
To uncover, first of all, if there was any police officer involvement, and also to hopefully solve the Biggie Smalls murder case.
Now, by 2008, this is 11 years after the homicide. I assume that there was records that the LAPD would have gathered initially in the investigation in the ensuing 11 years that you had access to.
Yes.
Did you guys, or did the task force formulate a plan as to how you were going to go about investigating the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yeah. There was rumors that this was a war between Southside Compton Crips and Mob Piru. Puffy Combs labeled that.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Who is Daylon Smith? He said he was the first person to expose WACK100 online when he tried to do that interview with me with his friend that was in the barber shop. What did you expose about him? I tried to tell y'all he's been working. You ain't never told me. We finna drop the thing. Come on up, Daylon. I want to hear what you talking about. Cause first and foremost, just saying that a nigga's a rat is not exposing him. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring the work. You got to be able to prove that the nigga's a rat. But you saying you the first one that exposed him. Well, come on up. I just dropped the link because we only going to watch about 15 minutes of this. And then I'm going to end it anyway. But I want to hear why you believe you're the first one that exposed them on the internet.
Getting all their files, getting up to speed on the Tupac murder. Although we weren't investigating it, we just wanted to get up to speed on it. And then starting there, everybody was a suspect at that time in the Biggie Smalls murder.
At the time you come to Vegas and learn what information the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department is, who is the detective that you're having the contact with from Metro?
Detective Dan Long.
At some point, you go back, you begin investigating. Did you have any suspects that you identified and wanted to potentially look at?
From the initial investigation, Southside Compton Crip possibly had something to do with the murder because they weren't paid for the Tupac murder. And then also Death Row Records, that they were involved because of the retaliation for the Tupac murder. So, like I said, everybody was a suspect at that time.
During the course of the investigation, did you at some point focus on a person identified as Dwayne Davis?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Davis here in court today?
Yes.
You put him out to strap something he's wearing.
He's at the defense table with a blue shirt and a multicolored tie.
May the record reflect identification of the defendant.
Is he wearing a jacket or no jacket? No jacket.
No jacket.
So reflected.
How is it that, how is it that you target Mr. Davis?
The vehicle used in the Christopher Wallace murder was a Impala. Mr. Davis had an Impala, and they had impounded it early on in the investigation. So we started with him.
And did you have information related to?
If you're paying too much for your car insurance, here are 3 reasons why you should call Freeway Insurance right now.
No other company has offered me a better price than Freeway.
DEA, FBI, I was a homicide investigator coming in. So above my pay grade, they tried to figure out a way to get leverage on Mr. Davis through narcotic sales. We would bring him in after we caught him with narcotics and see if he would work with us and give us information on the Biggie Smalls case.
And were you able to gather enough information to potentially arrest and charge him with narcotics?
Yes.
And how much narcotics are we talking about here?
From what I remember, it was PCP, a gallon, and a kilo of cocaine, if I'm not mistaken.
And with Mr. Davis's past criminal history, as well as that amount or weight of drugs, what kind of sentence was he looking at for that type of drugs?
As I said, I wasn't familiar with the FEDS system. From what I was told, though, that was a life sentence with the amount of drugs that were confiscated.
So once you've gathered all this evidence, do you do anything to indicate to Mr. Davis that you've got your leverage?
We met with him.
And who's we?
It's still going. Don't think it's
me and Detective Greg Kading.
And where did that meeting take place?
If I recall, it was
damn, what's up with this thing? You over there tripping off, Levi?
Davis's residence, maybe in Rancho Cucamonga or Corona. We sat in his garage and we advised him of what we had. And we get an attorney and we'll meet with you a couple days later in LA at the Fed building and we'll discuss it more.
Now, was there a suggestion to Mr. Davis that he shouldn't use the lawyer? Does there come a point in time when you?
Yes.
And that
to show him the evidence that we did a lot of surveillance on him, to receive in a, as a case.
Do you eventually wind up in a meeting with his lawyer in his addition to talk to him about that?
I think that first meeting was at the AUSA's office in downtown Los Angeles with him and his attorney and about 4 or 5 people from the task force.
And was there your understanding as to what the circumstances of what you could and couldn't use against Mr. Davis about what he's talking to you about?
Yes. And again, I'm just in the room. I never even been in the AUSA's office at that time. So I'm just observing what's going on.
Did anyone use the term, this is a proffer?
Yes.
And was that agreement between the AUSA? Do you remember that AUSA's name?
Timothy Seawright.
And do you remember the attorney for Mr. Davis?
Right.
Wayne Higgins.
And so there was an agreement in that first meeting that this would be a proffer.
Yes.
And during the course of that, do you ask Mr. Davis about his involvement in the Biggie Smalls murder?
Yes.
And what is his response?
At that time, he said, no, we didn't have anything to do with that.
When he said we didn't have anything to do with that one, did that trigger anything in your mind as to what he was saying?
When I recall, yes. We were like, that one, what do you mean? And then he said, we did the other one.
He said, we did the other one. And so at that point, what did you think he was talking about?
Me personally, the only other one was Tupac. But we had nothing, we didn't think he was, we were talking about Christopher Wallace. We didn't ask him any questions about Tupac. He offered that on his own.
And so when he does that, is there some discussion then of maybe having a conversation about Tupac?
It was a surprise to us. Number one, we were shook. We were surprised. Yes. I mean, I don't know if we shut that meeting down then to discuss what we were going to do. I don't remember, but we were surprised.
Does there come a point in time when there's a meeting set for December 18th of 2008 to talk to Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
In your understanding, was that still based upon the agreement between Wayne Higgins and the U.S. attorney that it would be a proffer session?
Yes.
At that point, before having this conversation with Mr. Davis, has anybody notified Las Vegas that Mr. Davis is going to be talking about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Unfortunately, no.
Were you present on December 18th for an interview with Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
And did you subsequently learn, or previously learn, but subsequently learn that that conversation was recorded?
Yes.
Do you know who recorded that statement?
One of the members of the task force, Bill Holcomb.
Did there come a point in time where you heard that recording?
Yes.
And Judge, I have marked as state proposed exhibit 117, which is the actual recording, and 110, which is the transcript of that recording. I'm out from it this time.
Any objection?
I think this briefing currently still lacking foundation with regards to that. The answer, the question that was asked was like, do you recognize the recording?
Okay. Do you want to play
I can play part of
maybe
that
the
recording
first
for Detective.
couple seconds and see if he recognizes it?
Yeah, there's
Not gonna
some
take-
walking in time, so we'll just have to pull it
when
forward.
people actually talk.
Yeah. I'll just jump forward. Hopefully. My volume off?
People or his associates, that's not a concern to us.
Yeah.
If you had told Mike, we would have come.
Okay, another.
Does that sound like the conversation that was happening on December 18th, 2008, Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And who was present at this besides yourself that you recall?
The lead detective, Detective Greg Kading.
Ah.
He was mostly in charge. Bill Holcomb and me. That's all I can remember.
Was Wayne Higgins present as well?
Wayne Higgins was there, and I'm sorry, so was Mr. Davis, of course.
And do you recall where this conversation took place?
It might have been at Wayne Higgins' office.
As I once again reoffer.
Hey, Daylon Smith think he's Soldier Boy. I was the first one that did.
Did you want to show him 110? Just verify that is the transcript of it.
Oh, you want me to?
Well, that was the objection.
He ended up beating the
Foundation
case.
wasn't accurate. We talked about the first item, but not the second.
Hey, Daylon, you trolling, bro. That's why you ain't came up here.
That appeared to be a transcription of that particular meeting.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's it.
Move to admit 110 and 117.
Any objection, Mr. Stampt?
No, Your Honor.
So they will be admitted.
The nigga that beat the case, he told.
The jury is gonna hear the entire thing at some point. But generally speaking, what was Mr. Davis's version of events as it relates to what happened with Tupac Shakur?
Mr. Davis stated that his nephew, Mr. Orlando Anderson, was jumped and beat up in a club or in a hotel in Las Vegas after the Tyson fight. He came and told Mr. Davis what happened. They went looking for Tupac, Suge, anybody who was involved, basically, in the beatdown of Mr. Anderson. And they couldn't find him at first. And then they saw him, and basically, Mr. Davis had the gun at first, but they came up on the passenger side of Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur's vehicle, so he couldn't shoot across the driver. So he handed the gun to Dre in the back seat, Andre Smith.
Few people know that there is a credit card that does not check your credit score, is free, and offers a limit of up to $3,000.
Oh, Scandalous wasn't even getting rid of the commercial. Scandalous, hey, the union is slackers, bro.
Mr. Davis for
Look,
payment.
Scandalous sleeping on the job again.
Fast forward, we go to Mr. Davis. He said he can rekindle that relationship with Mr. Zip Martin and get him to talk about the money that was given from Sean Puffy Combs to Mr. Martin that never got to Mr. Davis.
And did you guys or Mr. Davis come up with a plan to get leverage on Mr. Williams, Zip? What was the idea?
Me, Detective Kading, ATF Jim Black, and Keefe D, Mr. Davis, flew to New York so Mr. Davis can work undercover to try to rekindle that friendship.
This nigga Keefe D was working undercover, nigga.
And when Mr. Davis goes in to, do you remember the name of the club?
It's called the Zip Code in Harlem.
Does he in fact meet with Zip?
Zip, he did, but from what we gathered from Mr. Davis told us, he passed him off to his nephew, meaning Zip passed him off to his nephew to do business with him. Zip had cancer or something like that. He was sickly. He said he wasn't in the business no more, something like that. So it didn't work.
So he was unable to reestablish a business relationship and do a drug deal with Zip so that you would have leverage to then talk to Zip about what Mr. Davis. I'm just confirming the information. What?
You're just confirming that the information that you just were provided is what?
I'm just confirming the information that he just testified to.
So then, overruled. You may answer.
Yes, he couldn't rekindle the relationship.
And so you come back from New York.
Yes.
At some point, does the LAPD establish whether or not LAPD officers were involved in the murder of Mr. Wallace?
We found out that there was not any police officer involved.
And eventually, Mrs. Wallace's lawsuit is resolved.
Yes, it does.
At some point, are you directed to attend a meeting involving Wayne Higgins, Dwayne Davis, and Dan Long, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department investigator on Tupac Shakur?
Yes.
And on September 9th of 2009, did you in fact attend that interview?
Yes.
And was that recorded?
Yes.
This morning, did you listen to portions of that to confirm that is in fact a copy of the 2009 audio recording?
Yes.
And if I approach, I forgot this. Showing you 111, if you flip that over, take a look at it. Does that appear to be a transcript of that 2009 interview?
Yes.
Move to admit 111 and 118.
Any objection?
No objection. Your Honor.
So admitted.
Finally, and I forgot to do this, during the conversation on December 18th of 2008, did you have some sort of chart that was put in front of Mr. Davis where he identified where people were in various vehicles?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as state's proposed exhibit number 147. Is that a copy of the chart that you had prior to the December 18th, 2008?
Yes.
Move to admit.
Any objection?
Objection.
So admitted.
Thank you, sir. I pass the witness.
Cross-examination, Mr. Smith.
It's 2.5 hours. I don't play with him on the stand.
Mr. Dupree, sorry. We had some conversations here about what you did on this case. Did you ever write any reports on this?
Sure I did, yeah.
When you say you're sure it did you review any reports in preparation for your testimony here today?
I think I reviewed one report.
Which report did you review?
It was a DEA 6 passing the case over to Las Vegas Metro.
And with regard to that report, did you draft that report yourself?
Yes.
When you say it's a DEA 6, is that a form?
Yes.
Is that a form used by the DEA agency, I guess would be the Drug Enforcement Agency?
Yes.
Did you write any reports and on your own with regard to what you did within the LAPD, umbrella or report writing?
Sure I did.
When you say you sure did, are you telling us today that you don't know for sure what reports you wrote?
I'm saying that when you have a cold case, a lot of reports are already written. So you interview people and you do a statement on it, but the majority, this was 2006 and we started, the murders happened in 1996 and 97. So a lot of the reports were already written.
So with regards to, you're classifying this as a cold case?
Yes.
And what is a cold case to you?
It's a case that takes a long time to solve.
And with regard to the cold case, which are you talking specifically about the murder here, the murder investigation of Tupac Shakur?
I'm talking about when we classified Christopher Wallace's case. I don't know if they classified Tupac a cold case at that time.
I see. So you were part of the task force specifically on Biggie Smalls, we just call it Biggie Smalls.
That's why we started the task force, because of the lawsuit.
All right, and you are classifying that as the cold case?
Yes.
So all your work would have been under the Biggie Smalls investigation, not necessarily under the Tupac case that we're here for today.
Yes.
And so with regard to your actions on the Biggie Smalls case, a lot of what you're doing sort of blends into, at least some of it blends into the Tupac investigation, but that wasn't your investigation.
No.
That was Metro's investigation.
Yes.
Hey, you could
Now,
call in.
on the day that we're talking about here, and this would be under the recordings that you had from the 2008 proffer. Did you set those up?
No.
Who set them up?
Probably the lead investigator, Greg Kading.
Okay. And with regards to Greg Kading,
let's get that cash app going.
You're
man.
his partner.
In a task force configuration, you might peel off with one person more than the other. So I would say me and him did a lot of work together.
And with regards to what he is that he's also a fellow LAPD detective.
Yes.
All right. And so with regards to your being,
go ahead and call
let's
in.
say not
There go the
part of the
number.
task force, were you ever his partner outside of the task force?
I met Detective Kading at Wilshire Homicide. Wilshire Homicide is the area that Christopher Wallace was actually killed.
Salute.
Robbie Homicide inherited the case or took the case because they had more resources to work. Me and Greg worked together at Wilshire Homicide. Greg Kading started this task force and he brought me over.
Oh no, I remember that, bro. When you did that, Pitbull was in an interview, and you was hollering about you was hollering at the nigga WACK. I remember it faintly, right? You was hollering about the nigga WACK, and I remember the energy. I remember all of that, and cause Pitbull, I'm like, well, why Pitbull didn't just sock the nigga out? The nigga was talking like that. Bro, we had already been at war and exposing this nigga WACK for a year and a half, 2 years. That wasn't new, bro. But look, the number's on the thing and call in. We gonna get you in. Since you can't do the thing, call in. There go the number. You know what I'm saying? We gonna take that call and we gonna end this in about 5 minutes anyway. And if not, anybody else want to call in, let's get to these calls. Because Darren Dupree, this a whole hour. We not going through this whole thing today. We going to get back to it because I want to break it down. You can see how frustrated he is. The energy he got is evil. You know what I'm saying? But let's get that number in, man. You dig? Let's go.
Years later to this task force.
I see. So up until that point when he brought you over, you guys weren't partners?
No. He was working narcotics. Greg knows the narcotics FBI DEA system very well. I didn't.
All right. And so in terms of your awareness about the Tupac investigation, when were you first made aware of the Tupac investigation?
Through the media, as soon as it happened. Right. I mean, everybody knew about that.
And in terms of though your involvement or the official, are you telling us it's at the time of the proffer that you become sort of more involved in the Tupac?
At the time that Mr. Davis offered the information that he offered is when we even thought about doing anything with Tupac.
But isn't it true though that you actually were more aware, that Detective Long was the Metro detective on this case as early as 2004?
I didn't start until 2006. So I just knew he was an investigator assigned to the case when I got there.
I see. So as of 2006, you would have been aware that Detective Long was the investigator from Metro?
Maybe 2006, 2007.
Look how aggressive he getting.
Come out to Vegas and gather intel on the Tupac case just for investigative reasons.
Okay. And
Are you
just for
looking to create
investigative
authentic
reasons.
pay stubs
Look
for
at
proof of
Scandalous,
income?
sleeping on the
The
job
pay stubs
again.
lets you create
The
high
slacker, the unions is slackers.
Okay, so it's Christopher
Told
Wells
y'all
task force.
about the union.
And you first contact Mr. Davis on, looks like November 21st, 2008. Is that about right?
So nobody want to call in, huh?
Okay.
That's good.
Now,
'cause
in
I'm
terms
finna
of
take
your,
my ass to
you're
sleep.
saying though that your review of the evidence in preparation for today's, or your reports in preparation for today's testimony just consisted of the DEA 6 form?
Yes.
Now, at the time of November 21st, 2008, you and Greg Kading are the ones who initially contacted Mr. Davis, right? You didn't do it by yourself.
No, me and Mr. Kading.
Okay, and you basically advised him at that particular point that, you know, he was potentially looking at an indictment for narcotics. Is that right?
Something to that effect, yeah.
And once again, you're doing this because you are targeting Mr. Davis because you believe he may have been a suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder.
Yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, I would assume in the future, you're going to tell all of us that he was no longer a suspect in that murder, right?
That is correct.
You found information that were indicating that the car that was potentially the car used in the Biggie Smalls murder was not his vehicle. Maybe somebody else was there. And there were some issues with regards to his location that he wouldn't have been the one to be the shooter in the case.
Whatever the reasons, I just know he wasn't involved in the Biggie Smalls murder.
Okay. And then with regards to your conversation with Mr. Davis, when you had that conversation at his home, you talked about being in the, I guess, the garage of his home at Rancho Cucamonga. Is that what it was?
I forget the city, but it's southeast.
Okay.
That's where he lived at the time.
And you had at some point told him that maybe he should retain an attorney to handle the issues because he was going to be dealing with the United States Attorney Timothy Seawright. You remember having that conversation with him?
I don't think we threatened him or anything.
No, call the number.
Hey man, we got some information. We got some things that you were involved in, and we need to talk to you. So we need to meet with you, with your attorney at the AUSA's office.
Now, at the time that you have that conversation with Mr. Davis, you advised.
Yeah, he trolling. So look, Daylon Smith, I remember you now. I remember that content now. I just put my phone number for y'all to call up. That has nothing to do with technology. You don't know how to use your phone? 213-338-0034. It'll ring right here. Duse M the down. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? That ain't got nothing to do with no technology, man. It's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on the call. You did? If not, we gonna be ending this without hearing what you say, and we gonna believe you a big capper, big capper.
Not to bring his attorney, which would have been Edie Fall, to that conversation, right?
No.
You advised him to actually bring this other attorney, Wayne Higgins. That would have been a brand new attorney for Mr. Davis, correct?
No, I didn't even know Mr. Higgins at that time.
Now, in terms of your, the meeting, Mr. Higgins shows up with Mr. Davis, and then there's a conversation between Mr. Higgins and Seawright regarding the proffer agreement, but that wasn't with you being present in the room. Fair?
No.
Okay. Now, you had, though, at some point being informed that there was a proffer agreement, and then there was follow-up interviews that occur as a result, right?
That's correct.
So this is just not one interview. This is multiple interviews.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us, for instance, how many interviews there were?
That I was involved in? The first meeting at his house in the garage. The first meeting with the AUSA, and then the meeting at Wayne Higgins. But mind you, like I told you, I flew to New York with Mr. Davis. So we were out there for 3 or 4 days.
I'm talking more about specifically the actual meetings in which you're sitting down and asking questions of Mr. Davis.
2.
So that would be the initial meeting with United States Attorney Seawright in the room. And then the second meeting was, at what time?
That was with Mr. Higgins at his office on Wall Street Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the date.
Okay, would that be October or December 18th?
2008.
2008.
Yes.
Do you recall actually being involved in a meeting or being knowledgeable of a meeting that took place on December 1st, 2008?
No.
How about a meeting that took place on January 7th, 2009?
I don't recall. No.
How about another meeting that occurred on February 11th, 2009?
I don't recall any of those dates.
Okay.
I just remember the 3 that we dealt with.
Listen to him lying.
And once again, you're refreshing your recollection off of a DEA 6 form, correct?
Watch how aggressive he gets.
Off my recollection.
30 years later?
That's right. And about 20 murder trials.
Right.
of my own.
Which is amazing. Good job.
It's not amazing, just doing my job.
But let's just make sure we're clear. I want to make sure this jury understands that you're refreshing recollection off of a DEA 6 form.
No, I told you the DEA 6 form that I saw this morning was transferring the case from the DEA to Las Vegas Metro. That's all that said this morning.
All right. So this is all purely off of your recollection from 30 years ago.
Look, WACK handler act just like him.
The case was 30 years ago. So
Right.
we had it in 2006.
And 20 murder trials later,
That's right.
you're refreshing. Okay. So let's keep going through it. So your testimony here is that at the time of the meeting on December 18th, 2008, you were present for that meeting.
Yes.
And the other people that were present for that meeting was Detective Katie, LAPD Detective William Holcomb, FBI Special Agent Bennett.
Yes. I didn't mention him, but he was there. Yes.
Okay. And then was anybody else there present?
Mr. Davis and Mr. Higgins.
And then outside of those, was anybody from the United States Attorney's Office present?
That's where
That's
he
the
got it
first one
from.
in 2008. I think not in 2009.
Right.
For sure, not 2009.
Right.
Say that.
Okay, but I want to make sure we're precise for this jury. On December 18, 2008, was the United States Attorney present for that meeting?
Look, he lying. He don't want to say that AUSA
Yes.
was there.
Now, in addition to that,
Y'all know why he didn't want to say that, right?
And the one that
Y'all do understand. Y'all do understand what's the importance of why the AUSA was there or not? Because they're talking about whether or not the legal reasons, whether or not they're going to have to uphold his proffer agreement and immunity at some point. If the AUSA is there at each one of these meetings, then the AUSA is there not to gather intel. That's their job. It's to make sure that they can leverage the deal. So now it goes into jurisdiction. Well, if this was it a federal case? Well, they said he crossed state lines and killed Tupac. If they believe that was the truth, right? You cross state lines and you kill Tupac, that means the feds can't take jurisdiction. So if the assistant United States attorney, and the feds can always override the state. So if the AUSA is agreeing that you have immunity, then this whole prosecution right here is fictitious and they don't even have jurisdiction to do it. This is nasty work, bro. This is why he didn't want to admit at first the AUSA was there.
introduced into evidence in this case, was that a recording to which Mr. Davis or his attorney knew about?
Darren Dupree.
2008.
Oh, we got a call.
I don't know.
Damu Kiwe Conversations, you hit Active Chucks. Who I'm speaking with?
You speaking to Delon. What's happening with your checks?
Okay, what up, Delon, man? So I'm blessed and highly favored, man, and yourself?
And I can't complain. I'm feeling it. I'm digging it.
Okay, so now refresh our memory. You was with the boy Pitbull on Clubhouse. It was part of the 100 EBT side. Good Burger, right? That he started that room on Clubhouse. But yeah, he passed away. I don't know. I think it was a motorcycle accident. I'm not sure. But anyway, what was you and WACK into it about? I forgot.
Well, he had put some shit out there that I told on some of his homeboys that had did some time and that was doing time for a murder.
And who was his homeboy?
Lil WACK or Dayton Quinn and Jason Harris.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they call him Lil WACK. WACK is Lil WACK.
actually dating Quinn was baby Lil Wack or Tiny Wack or some shit like that at one point, but I believe he changed his name because he didn't want to go behind no buster.
Oh, okay. Well, at least he had that much wisdom, right? To not go behind that buster. Okay, so now were you on that case? Did you have any paperwork to clear up your name? Like, what was it with that?
I don't even know what the fuck made him bring my name up in that case in any type of way, because my name ain't never been mentioned in that case.
Right.
One of their own homeboys told him
that. Right. So you weren't a co-defendant with them dudes?
Absolutely. I had nothing to do with it. My name was never mentioned in the case at all.
Oh yeah, well he got more priors than Richard attaching a snitch jacket to a nigga unworthy. I'm living proof of that, right? But
I think he just didn't have nothing else to talk about. He needed some content, and he might have been infatuated with the way I looked as we was kids coming up, and he might have had a crush on me because he'd been a homosexual for a long ass time. And
wait, how do you know? How you know he been a homosexual? Because I believe that. I'm you knowing him.
I don't know it personally, as kids, but it's just so many other things coming up when people are putting his name and implicating him in homosexual activity, and it's if you keep on calling somebody
Did you see him with the transmission? His transmission was leaking on the phone with a
straight man comfortable with talking about homosexuals that much.
Not talking about him. He talked to him. Man, I got some audio, bro. He be on there hours with them and listen, to each his own. Maybe he need to come out the closet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why he's so frustrated. Maybe that's why he lost Kim for this scallywag, man. This scallywag, man. Have you seen her before?
I've been asking you to try to do an interview with Kimberly Jones.
Oh no, Kim ain't gonna do it. And I already know who the nigga is, bro. I'm talking about. I know he beat Kim. I know he beat his son. I got the domestic violence case numbers and everything, bro. I done studied this.
That's about the only people he beat, because he been running from everybody else, right?
Yeah, well, I caught the nigga out 4 years ago, man. That bitch ass nigga ain't finna take no fades. But that maybe some industry niggas. He know if you can bluff him, you can beat him. So he'll punch on them industry niggas. He know ain't gonna fight them back. You know what I'm saying? But
he got the coldest bluff game in the game.
Hey, listen, and these suckers be going for it too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I call them gophers because they go for anything. But yeah, man, the nigga. So you knew the nigga going back. So you grew up in the valley.
I've been knowing him ever since we was kids. Ever since we've been about 14, 15 years old.
Okay, so let's talk about that period. What was he on the streets at 14, 15 years old? Was he playing football?
Absolutely, he was playing football and he was in the streets.
Okay. So he was playing football and he was on the street. So why did he say he went to YA when he was 12?
To make it look good for the internet. No. He might have did he do some camp time? He might have done some camp time, maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he went to YA maybe about 14 or 15 years old. Somewhere around there.
Okay, well, that's about the same time you saying that y'all grew up together.
I know, but he shortly after I met him, he was gone.
Right. Okay. So he went to YA after that, but he lying about he went to YA when he was 12. So okay, so that makes sense. So, but he playing football. So was he mixing oil with water, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or he just was he moving work?
Definitely. No, when he he was young, he was running with a little crew that was real active in the streets. You know, he was just a driver though. He's always been just a driver.
Wait, when you say it's cool, who you talking about? Like Pooh Rider?
Absolutely, Pooh Rider and a couple other.
J-Cap?
Nah, J-Cap wasn't around back then. J-Cap came around a little later on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but he around the crew, he was the driver. Was he getting to the bag? And if he was it any form?
He never had to get to the bag. He's always been a spoiled kid. You already know he was gifted stuff. So whoever he had in his family was given or handed him things.
Yeah. Now that's the exact same thing. Everybody consistently been saying that he was doing that, but they were talking to somebody out there, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, we all do what we do in the street. Sell work, we sell weed, nigga rob shit, licks, nigga send bitches, whatever. When the survival come in, niggas don't got the luxury of a moral compass. You know what I'm saying? So I can dig it. But I haven't been able to confirm whether or not, you know what I'm saying, he was breaking down that A1 Yola. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, so he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't. Okay, that's what it is. But other than that, man, well, now you said you first exposed that he was a rat.
You know what? I overly spoke when I said that because I didn't know that you had been putting content out that long. You know, I hadn't been listening to you back then. One of my homeboys, actually from Pacoima, that loves your content, put me on you, and ever since then I've been listening to it.
Wait, who from Pacoima? Because I fuck with him.
Lick.
Oh, I don't know, Lick. But tell him I send my site. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Salute to them brothers. Shout out my big homie Messy Marv, Big Messy Marv, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, appreciate the call in. We're gonna have to really chop it up. But I'm finna end this. I gotta work tomorrow. See, I'm the hardest working man in showbiz. You need?
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
I've been to YA, you've been to YA.
What's your YA number?
68778. So
Okay. Where you did your YA time at?
I did the lead program at Nellis. I only did 4 months the first time I went to YA. No, it was a military boot camp program that was only for 4 months.
4 months, that's what it
was. At Nellis.
Okay.
On Roosevelt.
Okay. Oh, well, so you slid up out of there if you went to that program. So then,
but then I violated and then
oh yeah, when you maxed out, I was just getting to Preston. Well, I didn't get to TS to 99, 2000. I was up there with Structo, right? Okay. And we was in GA. Structo had the Samoan CO broad at the time. You know what I'm saying? She bought that nigga whip when he got out. But and my homie Lil Killer Jess was my celly. Who else was up there? The homie Taco for Family was my celly. He ended up getting busted on when they got into it, the essays. But okay. So wait, so you when you did the 21 months, that was you maxing out?
Yeah, because I didn't have a large commitment offense. The reason why I ended up going to YA is because I was AWOLing from camps. So I didn't really have a lot of maximum confinement time. What
camp you went to? You went to Camp Community Placement before that? What you went to, like Munns or Mendenhall or something?
No, I went to Miller and Rocky.
Oh, okay. Well, Rocky kind of locked down. Miller is by Kilpatrick.
I got up out of there too.
Oh yeah,
They said
yeah.
I was too sophisticated of a criminal to be inside of them type of institutions.
Oh yeah, so you did AWOL from both of them, and so they sent you to YA, but you didn't have that much committing time anyway. Little 3 years or something. That ain't that was a rocket shot in and out of that motherfucker. Nigga ended up doing 6 totally in that motherfucker, bro. And that motherfucker is the loony bin. You know what I'm saying?
I heard a lot of bad things about it. But listen, what I was trying to ask you is this: if me and you left LA going to avenge your cousin's death that was in Oklahoma, and we got stopped in Texas, we had been off of parole for over 10 years. How much time do you think we're gonna get?
Well, they gonna still hit me because I did 10 year feds also. So they gonna still hit me with the 924G, and that's gonna be a mandatory armed career criminal. So that's 15 years. That's why I don't carry no blammers. Well, unless I go to the city, then I'm gonna find somebody who can legally carry it, right? But what type of lawyer can get us up out of that? ATF lawyer. An ATF lawyer, or matter of fact,
that's all I'm saying.
A joint task force lawyer,
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but enjoy your evening, man. I'm finna go ahead and end it and call it a night. Hey, thanks for calling in again, brother. Hold your head up, man. Glad to see you on this side of that wall.
Man, keep doing your thing.
Yeah, man. Stay on this side of that 430 count, man. It's a lot better out here. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
All right. Enjoy your one. Cool brother, man. I'm glad he out here. You did. But outside of that, man, we gonna get into this later on. We gonna end this. This is Duse M the Dime. And I wanted to make sure I thank all y'all for coming to support. But just remember this, right? We finna get into this real quick, right? And we gonna go out, right? So let's go out like this. So probable cause is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. There is another reason the system benefits investigators, talking about open source intel. There are several different evidentiary thresholds. Probable cause is substantially below proof beyond a reasonable doubt. At the warrant stage, the government isn't required to establish guilt. It generally has to establish a fair probability that evidence will be found. Gates specifically allows a magistrate to consider an informant's veracity, reliability, and basis of knowledge together. Rather than requiring each element to be independently proven, independent police cooperation can compensate for weaknesses in the original source. And that's huge. Imagine a person investigators consider only moderately credible, standing alone. It's a weak source. But that source says 5 things. Investigators independently confirm 4 of them through public records, surveillance, telephone records, and social media. Now, the 5th assertion carries more investigative weight. This is basically the principle recognized in Gates. Cooperation can significantly increase the value of information originating from an informant. And remember something else, a search warrant proceeding is ordinarily ex parte. The defense attorney isn't standing beside the magistrate cross-examining everyone while the warrant is being requested. That means investigators can obtain compulsory evidence before the defendant gets the opportunity to litigate many of those factual assertions. There are safeguards under Frank's hearing. Under Franks versus Delaware, a defendant can sometimes obtain a hearing challenging materially false statements in a warrant affidavit. But the threshold is significant. The defendant generally has to make a substantial preliminary showing that the affiant intentionally or recklessly included a false statement necessary to probable cause. Mere disagreement or a desire to cross-examine is insufficient. And Franks contains another important wrinkle for the argument that I've been developing. The Supreme Court emphasized that the relevant, deliberate, or reckless falsity is generally the affiant's, not simply the government's informant's dishonesty. That can make the distinction extremely important. An informant could theoretically be wrong or dishonest without automatically invalidating the warrant, provided the officer did not knowingly or recklessly misrepresent the information and probable cause otherwise existed. Wink, wink, nod, nod, caught with their hands in the cookie jar. The court allowed them to continue with the case even once they exposed that the confidential source is a lie. So prosecutors cannot simply label some open source intel and automatically put an accusation before the jury without producing the speaker. Open source intel is an intelligence classification or investigative concept. It is not an exception to the federal rules of evidence. We call this open source intel, therefore confrontation disappears. So the government can use open source intel without introducing it at all. This is probably the strongest version of your thesis, of my thesis. The jury may never hear the original statement. So suppose WACK100 says something publicly. Investigators hear it. They investigate. They uncover independent evidence. At trial, prosecutors introduce phone records, surveillance, authenticated text messages, financial records, business records, location evidence, photographs, recorded communications, physical evidence, or testimony from completely different witnesses. The originating public statement isn't offered. Therefore, the jury doesn't need to determine whether the original speaker was truthful. The statement was an investigative roadmap, not necessarily trial evidence. That means the source helped build the case without becoming the case. That is a powerful way to explain to y'all what WACK100 is doing. He's creating investigative roadmaps to open source intelligence. I hope that y'all, let me stop sharing this. I hope that y'all paying attention to this. That is crazy, bro. The niggas creating investigative roadmaps, nigga. He don't gotta testify in trial. He gives the roadmap so you know who to go talk to, who to investigate, who phone to tap, who's moving what, who shot who, what hood did what. The Armenian powers did this, and they did it. They had it done and paid the money to get it done because this nigga did this, and these the niggas that did it. Investigative roadmap by open source back. Nasty work. This why you keep CS2 backup out your mix, and all you niggas that's in the industry, you goofy ass Crip niggas, and you half of a blood niggas. You niggas is disgraces. Nigga, keep the B out your mouth. Keep the C out your mouth. If you calling that nigga Unc, and this nigga out here in three different RICO indictments, of the biggest RICO indictments going on right now, nigga. Coincidence? Nah, my nigga. Investigative roadmaps. Open source intelligence. That's what's going on. That's why this is the new snitching. investigative roadmaps from open source back Damu Kiwe.
Track, baby, got another one. Duse M, PT. Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Jump on it, jump on it. Ride it like jump on it, jump on it. Ride it like Takis in hell, smoking that loud, lacy yak with mouth. Make your mama proud, popping it like shot. Turn it up, it's a gangster party.
PT, ain't never popped a Mari, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Holly. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young Emmett. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge image. To the day they go before and they box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply take my route. On my hobby.